Last week, as many other people in my field did, we did not talk, did not do shows. We decided to listen. It was a week that will change the way we live, not just here in the United States, but based on the reaction that we have seen globally, it will change the world. Just like the pandemic, we now have this situation where things have an opportunity, the line in the sand, to get much better. And as you saw by the name of this soccer OG, what can I do to fight racial injustice? I will get to that. Again, this week, everything's changed. This is it. This is our new reality, and we've got to all go into it. We all have to do our part. Not everyone will, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to try and do. But this is a soccer program, so please indulge me as I go through some topics just so I can stay limber here, because there's going to be a lot of soccer happening here soon. First of all, Wesley Sneijder. Thank you, Wesley, for giving me something to talk about. Something that was wonderful, because this is what we can argue and discuss till we're blue in the face. He came out and said, he told this to Di Marzio, I could have become like Messi or Ronaldo. I simply didn't feel like it. I enjoyed my life. Maybe I had a glass of wine at dinner. Leo and Cristiano are different. They've made many sacrifices, and that's fine with me. My career, however, was still amazing. He was a great career. Almost a World Cup champion in 2010. Incredible years playing in Italy. And he had it. Now, with regards to these claims, well, he's really, there's different packs of players. And obviously, Messi and Ronaldo are at the top, and then you have a group, maybe like Iniesta and several others. We were talking about the contemporaries right now. And then he's like in the fourth group, which is not bad. So Wesley Sneijder, by the way, I've talked about it here before, that footballers, when they retire, they really don't go off. They don't go away from their habits as a player. They look the same 5 years later, 10 years later, maybe a little more gray, maybe a little less hair on the top. But Wesley Sneijder was that rare breed. We saw him like weeks after he retired, and he ate the pie. He ate all the pies. There's nothing wrong with that. It's hard to be an athlete, but he did it. So you know he enjoyed life. But you have to be good. You have to love the game. He's definitely diminishing what he really accomplished. He put the work in. You don't get to that. At the World Cup of 2010, he was enormous. You don't have that commitment to the sport. You can't not have that and make a World Cup final, almost win it. That's all you need to hear. And a long, illustrious career, certainly. So he's selling himself pretty short with that. So I ain't buying that. But as to the claim, no chance. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are technically superior than almost everyone. They just look at how they approach the game. But athletically, I talked about Messi. Messi's athleticism is so underrated. Wesley Sneijder is nowhere near that athleticism of both that. So I don't want to pop the balloon here for Wesley, but thanks for saying this because I enjoyed talking about it. Leagues are coming back. La Liga returns on Thursday with Betis Sevilla, the Sevilla derby. They're going to have 10 games staggered. So they're going to have a game on Thursday, 2 games Friday, 4 games Saturday, 3 games Sunday, 2 games Monday, 3 games Tuesday, 3 games Wednesday, 2 games Thursday, over 8 days nonstop action. Unbelievable. By the way, the league president of La Liga is even saying now, just to show how quickly things are moving, that he's not ruling out from fans coming back earlier. And I imagine earlier as in by the time they complete these games in August or what have you. The hits are going to keep coming. I can't wait for this. This is going to be unbelievable. And remember what you get in Spain. You get Real Madrid, you get Barcelona, you get Atletico, you get a lot of good players to watch. England will be back on the 17th of June, and then from the 19th to the 25th, they have staggered games, which means you can watch them all. So there's no games at the same kickoff. They want people to stay home and watch. So they're giving them every reason to stay home. You could watch all 10 games from the Premier League back to back to back if you want to do that. And some people out there certainly will. Maybe I'm one of them. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to watch a lot. And then you have the Bundesliga, which is going on, and the Bundesliga can... I'm tired of saying all these good things about Germany, but I'm going to say it again. And the benefit of being first in sports, and they were first by a lot. They've already had 5 games under their belt before they're going... anyone else comes into view with Spain coming in this weekend. We've learned a lot. What to do when you come out of the quarantine. Bayern Munich comes out sizzling. What not to do. Schalke 04, winless in 12 games. Not interested. Middle of the table. Nothing's going to be bad. You can also call the shots. And with what is happening with following the protests around George Floyd, is Germany sets the tone. they have these protests. Everyone took a knee in these games. They saw what was happening. They set the tone. And now every league can do no less than what Germany has done. And that certainly applies to the leagues here in the United States, which will start coming into view. But hats off to Germany, and that's a good feeling. You go first, go, we set the tone. The history is going to be so kind. So I want to bring all of that because it comes into discussion about Major League Soccer and their Orlando plan. I record this on a Sunday. There's reports that maybe Monday MLS will have the plan ironed out, so we'll have more details. I'm going off what I think might happen. They want everyone to come into June 24th. Games early July. They wanted people to stay 10 weeks. That's not going to happen. It's too long. The official announcement about how it's going to be formatted in Orlando and how they can make everything whole, whether it's the advertisers, the broadcasters. They have a $1 million prize, whoop-de-doo, and a CONCACAF Champions League spot as well. They want to really make this a TV product. The problem with Major League Soccer is they're ahead of the U.S. curve, but they're behind the Europeans, and it's a saturated market. Now, what they could do is probably show these games later in the evening because there's nothing going on at night. Stay out of the way of the Europeans, and you don't have something else to compete with at night. So there you go. So I still think it's going to be a real challenge. This is such a high-pressure situation to get TV numbers, and they're going to get improved numbers, but how improved? I don't think it's going to be as much as they would like. When you consider the commitment that they have invested into this tournament. When we look at the 10 weeks, maybe there's an opportunity here to you don't want them 2 weeks practicing in Orlando. Give the power to the clubs to do the testing and get their players there right before they start playing, a day before. Shorten that 10 weeks. If you can get down to 6 weeks, but you shorten it with practice as well. And then we'll see what goes. Because everyone's going to be rolling in to get back to normal, say, by August. All right, so what can I do to fight racial injustice? I want to say a lot. I don't want to say too much. You've heard so much. I don't want to lecture. I would like to say that police have a very difficult job. I know a lot of cops. I know there's bad cops. I know there's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of data out there that I think we have to listen to that is going to make the police job more difficult, but it has to be at this moment. The 8 can't wait data. D. Ray McKesson, I heard him on with Bill Simmons' podcast talking about those 8 the 8 things that they must do to crack down on police brutality. Disbanding the police department, I don't agree with. It's such a massive move, and we hear that's happening in Minneapolis, and there's movements going on in New York. But I think you've got to, you also have these huge police unions, but you have to find ways to give people a guidebook for the police. You can't do that you can't move on without doing that. I can tell you all of that. I don't like it when it gets politicized too much because I think at some point there are people that are A, racist or don't care, and when they get all this information and people are saying to do this, to do that, they tune out. That is the reality. We've got to find a way to get to them. We don't have to soften the blow by any means, but we've got to find a way to get to them because as angry as everyone is, these people, and I think they want to change in the White House, certain people are not listening to this message. We've got to find a way to get to them. But I won't get to that. I want to talk about what I can do. What can I do? I listen to a lot of people. Cookie Johnson, the wife of Magic Johnson, and Magic Johnson did some incredible things by empowering his neighborhood, the inner city, the black neighborhoods in Los Angeles, putting in a Starbucks, a movie theater. I think we've got to reach out to, whether the company you work for or what you can do, you get involved to identify black businesses that need help investing and get them up and running in their neighborhoods. Empower them to do it. There is an opportunity, and it doesn't have to be all money. It can be time, it could be a little pressure, it could be giving people a break if you're a bank. We've got to find a way to do that. But we have to identify the candidates, and for that we have to communicate. So the communication comes first. That is something I want to participate in that I think will be able to make a difference. Kanye West, who's not viewed in a wonderful light, he did have something about, I think he was on 60 Minutes, and he said, America's for sale. And he's right. And you've got to give the black community an opportunity to get in on that, to invest and have a piece of this country. a bigger piece. We've got to find ways to do that. But we've got to get to the right people, and we've got to communicate. I'm a broadcaster. I have to mentor. I got to identify candidates that want to get in here, that wouldn't have had that opportunity, that are at school or can't and will never see it. Whether they want to get in soccer or another sport, I've got to find a way to mentor that next generation and take them under my wing. And I promise you, I am going to do that. We're going to find it, and we're going to get this information to that group so that they can call the shots and they can mentor and they can invest in other people as well. It all comes down to the communication. I want to raise a glass. I want to crack open a beer. And we've got to find a way to get into the neighborhoods and interact. Whether you're Mexican or Asian, I'm just talking about LA, or the Hispanic community, the Black community, we've got to find ways to socially get through. That sounds impossible. But getting in there, if it's cracking open a beer, maybe we do it through social media. I think social media is a great place to start for that. But we got to connect. Hi, I'm Max. Jim in South LA. How's it going? We've got to look in our own neighborhoods too, in our own cities. Make a new friend. Make friends. Communicate. And start that with social media. There's 3 things. If we can all come up with 3 things, this is going to be great. This is going to make the world a better place. So everyone take a deep breath, and we come up, stay vigilant on this, and let's get it done. Please subscribe to the Soccer OG. A lot to talk about in the upcoming weeks. Rate, review, and leave a comment. I will respond to you. Thank you very much. God bless. I love everyone. Let's do this. Let's do it.